Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the UK Connection. Thank you for spending some time with us on your Saturday, or maybe it's Sunday or Monday, whenever you do watch us. But for us, it's Saturday. And let me introduce the crew. As always, the two-thirds of the UK Connection, Mr. Simon Bray and Mr. Steven Reid in the house, as always, from Lancashire and Scotland.
It's close enough, Pete. It's close. People will understand you saying Scotland better than I do. So there you go.
I tried to say it with a little bit of panache, Scotland, right?
Scotland.
Yeah.
Aye. Come on, what's your kilt?
Yeah.
That wasn't bad at all.
Too bad, right? Because most people here are just like Scotland. That's how they say it. So, in hanging around with you for all these years, like Scotland, got to say it with a little bit of dignity, right? It's not just Scotland. He's over
It's
there
got
in
to have a,
Scotland.
it's got to have a little bit of latent aggression in there. It's Scotland.
Scotland. Scotland.
Scotland. Yeah, there you go.
I'd say like Drew McIntyre, right? Scotland.
Scotland.
Yes. Little wrestling reference there for all the people who don't know who the hell Drew McIntyre is. They're probably like, anyway.
There you go. Now, Simon's in Lancashire and he's completely confused.
I'm not confused. I fully understood the Drew McIntyre reference. I really did.
I
Drew
know.
McIntyre sounds about as Scottish as you do, Pete, to be brutally
I
honest.
know he doesn't really sound. Yeah, you hear him talk. It's not like listening to Derek Dick talk, right? It's totally different. I mean, Fish sounds like a Scottish guy,
Yeah.
and talking to Steven every other week or sometimes every week, I'm just kind of like, yeah, that Drew guy doesn't really have a thick accent at all. And I don't know, like, I mean, he spends a ton of time here in the States, and he has for many years, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. But yeah, that's not a thick accent there at all. I can understand him better than I can understand Seamus sometimes. So just talking Irish or the other guy. What's the other guy? The shorter guy. Can't think of his name right now. He's in the Judgment Day. Can't understand a word he says when he talks.
So
Steve,
basically, we're in the realm of all Celts sound the same, aren't we?
yeah,
And that's not a route you want to go down.
no.
Oh, controversial. Yeah, let's move on. Power metal.
Power metal. We'll move from wrestling over to power metal. So the year is 2015. We have gone and picked out our three favorite power metal albums from 2015. Before we get into the next part of the program, I do want to say, because I saw a couple comments last week, and I don't know if either one of my two friends here have chosen it, but I am not picking Symphony X. Symphony X to me are not a power metal band, folks. So they had a great album in 2015. They're a progressive metal band through and through. Maybe their first two albums you could call power metal, but they are a prog metal band. So I never consider them in these discussions. So no Symphony X today, and it looks like neither one of Simon or Steven have picked them. So just to get that out of the way, great band. Probably would have been my favorite album from this year, but it ain't power metal. So anyway, before we continue on with the discussion, Simon, what are you drinking?
Well, quite a while ago, I had one of the AC/DC beers,
Mm.
and I said, next time I'm going to have the other one. And a few months later, I feel that I haven't had it. So I thought, I need some space on, over there where all the dog food is and stuff. And well, I thought AC/DC it up again. You know,
Oh,
you,
that is cool.
you
Look
had
at
your
that.
kiss, you had your kiss thing, didn't you? So I've got AC/DC 50 years celebration IPA. I've already
Nice.
poured it in my what many people are. Oh, that's a bottle, by the way.
Oh, it's pretty nice. Look at that, nice and
That is
black.
cool, yeah. I like it.
It's like a black
And
ice
I've
bottle right there. Pretty cool.
got it in my super cool AC/DC glass. Yabu sucks with your kiss one. And I'm going to taste it now. That's all right. Yeah. If that was a replacement singer, that would be Bruce Dickinson. That's pretty good. Yeah. I like it.
Oh,
Yeah. Nice.
well, I'm pretty safe, I would say, with this one. Because sometimes you just need something that you think, yeah, I know I like that. And I know that I like Bellhaven best. So not the Bellhaven Black that you had not that long ago, Pete, and enjoyed that much. You had another one, and I think another one after we finished, if not another one after that too. This is the best. So this is a session ale. This is 3.2%. It's nice and easy. It's a nice nitro one, so it looks fab in the glass. I know it's already excellent, but I'll taste it for effect. Mm. Yeah, that's fabulous. It's smooth as anything. It's creamy. It's not overly flavoursome, but it's just comforting. It's really, really, really nice. You'd like this as well, Pete. It's very good.
It looks really good.
Mm. It is absolutely excellent. Wow. So you put me on the spot now. So replacement singers. So what replacement singer is it like? I would suggest that it's probably the sort of beer that when you taste it, it kind of takes a little bit of time to settle. And initially, you kind of go, before going, actually, that's really good and it really works and it's meant to be here. So I would say this is Andy Derris. That's what this is.
Excellent.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would like to try that. That's, in
You'd
fact,
like it.
hold the can up again. They have that at my local place. Because I saw that when I was looking for the stout, I saw that and I was like, I really want the stout, and I just didn't buy any of it. I'm going to get that.
Good, good.
Yeah, I'm going to get that. I might get that this weekend, as a matter of fact. Even though I have a whole fridge full of stuff that my brother just gave me, as we knew from the last episode. So I'm still very little bit making my way through there. So I'm once again going to visit the Wet Ticket Brewing Company from Rahway, New Jersey for Tastes Like the Tropics Mango Wheat Ale. And it is 4.7 alcohol by volume. And it looks like this, pretty sexy in my Harpoon IPA glass. Smells really fruity. In fact, it does not smell like a wheat ale at all. It smells like an IPA. It smells like a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
That's delightful. It has a really strong mango flavor, but it's not too sweet. And it's got the bite of an IPA. It does not taste like a wheat ale at all. Wow, that's really good. I could see, and it's only 4.7. I could see this being really dangerous on a hot summer day.
Simon, to me, in the glass, it looks a bit like Fanta.
It does. Yeah, it does. It looks like orange soda. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Very good. What I like about it is it's got the subtle mango flavor, but it's not like sweet mango, right? It's just got enough of that flavor, but it's got the bite of an IPA. It doesn't taste like a wheat ale at all. That's really good. And I'm amazed at how well the flavors really mix for a first time having it. That's a David Coverdale joining Deep Purple kind of beer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good. All right. So, power metal favorites from 2015. There was a good amount to choose from, I thought. I had like probably 6 or 7 that I was considering, and then I had to whittle it down to 3. So we'll go to Simon for his first choice of power metal from 2015.
Okie dokie. I'm going to tell you first what I rejected. I rejected Glory Hammer, Space 1992, Rise of the Chaos Wizard. I don't think Glory Hammer have lasted the course. I know they're still going, but you know, that shtick's done, isn't it? Really? You know, just no. Powerwolf, Blessed and Possessed. I've rejected that one mainly because. Do you remember when we did the Powerwolf episode about 3 million years ago? Thanks. Apparently, and I know this isn't the case because I've got video evidence, I don't own anything by Powerwolf. I sure as shit can't find it. Which is why, to stop being a whiny motherfucker, apparently I've got to sort that room out next week because it's half term. I know. So, yes, I know. You could have listened to it on Spotify, couldn't be bothered. So, yes, I've rejected that as well. And they were both quite high up on my list for 2015. So, yeah. Also, right, I don't know when you do your power metal research, a band always comes up, and they always say, "Oh, you know, it's a good album." Children of Bodom are not a power metal band.
They're not.
Stop putting in the power metal section. Stop it. Just stop it. It's a fucking great record. I worship Chaos. I do worship Chaos. Chaos is awesome. It's really great, but it's not power metal. Stop it. Even Wikipedia files say they're a power metal band, and they're not. And we know that we can't trust Wikipedia file, but no. So,
but what are they?
They're a melodic death metal band, and with nice screamy bits. And do you know what? Most importantly, they were really good.
I would agree.
Been listening to quite a lot of their output recently, just for giggles. So, yay. Right. My actual choices. Oh, I'll tell you what I did notice. I noticed, and I'm not saying that power metal is a slightly moribund genre, but it is, that quite a lot of the choices that we had in 1997, I could have made and have made in 2015. So, thank you. Thank you. I give you, because, pick a year, any year, and I'm fairly confident that Iron Savior have made an album that year. Fairly confident, yeah. It's very much, but what they did, right? What they did in 2015 was that they remade their 2007 album, Megatropolis. Yes, they did, and they called it Megatropolis 2.0. Now, this is the original version, which they didn't like. I'm just holding it up because I've got it. But I did, however, review the reissued, the revised version, and I'm going to quote from myself because they rearranged it and they moved Omega Man from second to straight up. So somehow this is me. Somehow just starting with the thunderous drums at the start of the Omega Man makes things feel so much better, and the flow is decidedly improved. Of course, it's metal-tastic from start to finish and slightly less subtle than a UKIP broadcast. One for UK readers there. Yeah, that doesn't work now, does it? No, but yes, bombastic was another word that I mentioned. That you absolutely associate with Iron Savior. And I listened to it not just a couple of hours ago in the car. It's fantastic. It's so metal.
As every album is from them.
Yes, that's the thing. Is it's so metal? And it's arguably more metal than power metal. But lots of the tropes of power metal are actually there. You've got the Omega Man, Megatropolis. Yep, trying to actually say the words like he sings them. Cybernetic Queen is brilliant, as it is. I'm running riot. It's just so metal-tastic, and such a really excellent piece of metal. I'm just saying of the pretty power variety, as they all are. You could argue that once you've read one of their albums, you've heard them all. So no need for that ranking program, Peter. But yeah,
it's on the list though. Tune in to a ranking the album show near you in the not too distant future.
I'm going to have to find them all, aren't I?
Yes.
That's a problem. I know what some of them are, and I listened to one of them on vinyl the other day. But my first choice is Megatropolis 2.0, not the original version, by 2.0. Thank you, Stephen. By the mighty Iron Savior, and I think last time I chose Iron Savior's first album, didn't I? I like them. They're so good and so consistent. So consistent. So that's my first. Is that it? And we're moving around now.
Go up to Stephen.
Do it, Stephen.
I love the T-shirt that Pete's going to have made now. More metal than power metal. I mean, come on. There's the catchphrase.
There it is. Yeah, that's a classic in the making.
That's metal, isn't it?
Oh dear. Right. So, seeing as we're starting with the albums that we didn't choose for whatever reason it may be, I'll do the same. Okay. I kind of discount things as we go. So yes, I also didn't choose Powerwolf. It is a good album, by the way. But there are things that I haven't chosen because, well, they are power metal or not power metal. Okay. So where to start with? I'll start with this one. Saxon aren't power metal, Stephen. Well, yeah, they are at this point, really, I think. I mean, there's a couple of heavy metal songs on here, traditional heavy metal songs on here. This is Battering Ram.
Great album, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is them on this run of albums where really everything's just bloody great, to be honest. But a lot of people will say, oh, that's not power metal. So I've gone, okay, all right, I can go with that. You won't agree with this one, Pete, but Conditioned Human by Queensryche, if you change the singer on this and take away the history, and actually just listen to the music on here, it's pretty much power metal, really, by this stage. They've kind of dropped all that kind of progressive kind of side by this point and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. I didn't choose it because there will be lots of people that go, oh, no, you can't have that. And you probably can have The Secret Garden by Angra. Okay, other than the fact that people like George Lamy, okay, will go, yeah, but Stephen, see, that was released in 2014 in Japan. Okay, thanks, George. Ruined that one, didn't you? Absolutely ruined it. So the only kind of honourable mention I've got that I would have chosen, but it didn't just quite get there, is Haven by Camel. Okay, somebody else may talk about it. I don't know, so I won't go into in depth on that. My first choice is, in the same way that Simon kind of has, is playing to type. Because if I discovered anything when we did the previous show on this, it's that I seem to kind of migrate towards a different style of this in some ways. So my first choice is Gods of War by the band Reverence. Okay,
Right.
this was their second album, and they're a US power metal outfit, and that seems to be where I kind of head here. I mean, things like Iron Savior, fantastic. I have no problem with that sort of stuff. I tend not to have very much of it. Don't really know why, because when I listen to that style of music, I really like it. I like this for my classes, it's kind of more refined, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, it's just a different take on it. So this was the first time well, actually the debut album from this band was the first time I ever heard a guy called Todd Michael Hall singing. Okay, he's now in Riot, he's been in Jackstar Burning Star, he's released a couple of solo albums with Kurt Van der Hoof doing an awful lot of songwriting and various things like that. The guy's fantastic. It's as simple as that. This is a really good album. He makes it a great album, and he did the same with their debut from 3 years before, when Darkness Calls. And it's really a whole load of folk that people probably don't know. There's Brian Holland on guitar, there's Pete Rossi on guitar, who sadly died not long after this album came out. A guy called Michael Massey on bass, and then you've got Steve Wacholtz on drums from Savatage and Crimson Glory. So there is some sort of pedigree there. But this is just fantastically heavy US power metal. I mean, the stuff like Tear That Mountain Down, it's just great guitars, really kind of bulging riffs. I really like it. They go for the throat. There's no mucking about here. Choices made. It's kind of Dio era Sabbath. It's kind of got that threat about it. Todd brings a bit more growl to his vocals on that one. The title track's fantastic. Heart of Gold is maybe the standout track. If you've never heard Reverence, that's maybe the song to start with. It's the most immediate one. Really big sing along chorus if you can reach those notes, which I can't, and I don't care because I just ruin it as a sing along. But yeah, it's as US power metal as you'll get, and it's done really well, and they've got a great singer. So my first choice is Gods of War by Reverence.
Yeah, I've never heard that, but a lot of cool people on there, so it's probably worth
Yeah,
checking.
yeah. They only did two studio albums, and then Todd left them at that point because he started to get involved with various things. And they've had a live album since then. The band supposedly are still on the go, but they've never released anything since. So this is actually their last studio album for the time being. I'd like to hear more if they want to.
Cool. All right, one album that didn't quite make the cut for me, and I really do like it a lot. And again, they're one of those bands that, well, are they true power metal or are they symphonic metal? I think they're kind of a little bit of both. I went Nightwish, Endless Forms, Most Beautiful. Really strong album from them. Not quite top three for me, but was up there for consideration. I had other ones, but that was the one main one that didn't quite make the cut. 2014 in Japan or not? And in fact, I have the Japanese copy and it does say 2014 on the back, but it was 2015 for the rest of the world. I'm going to go with Secret Garden by Angra. I know George is going to be upset, but it's 2015 for most of the world, right? You know, the Japanese always get everything early. So of course, their eighth album, first with Fabio Leone on vocals. What does yours say?
2015.
Yeah, see, I've got the Japanese one, so it's like it's 2014 here. Yeah, whatever. It was probably like December 20.
It was. It was December and then January. That's exactly
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah. Again, Fabio Leone has a history in power metal with a lot of different bands. Uh, Bruno Valverde, first album with him on drums, last album with Kiko Loriero on guitars. I think it's a fantastic album. And again, Angra, to me, Angra are a power metal band with progressive tendencies, but they are true power metal, and they're one of the best, in my opinion. Since George and I did the Angra ranking a year ago, or however long ago that was, I went and like filled out my entire collection of the albums that I was missing. And I've grown a real appreciation for the whole discography of this band and not just like, 4 or 5 that I always had, right? So really great band. They do everything the right way. You get the amazing vocals, melodic songs, fast-paced double bass drum stuff, more progressive stuff, a lot of bombast, the great like South American percussive elements, which I think sets them apart. It's amazing. You got Simons from Epica, you got Dora Pesh both guesting on here. Best songs, I don't know, Black Hearted Soul is amazing. Newborn Me is great. Upper Levels, Crushing Room, all really, really great songs. But I think it's a very strong album from start to finish. It ranked very, very high for me on the ranking. And I think Fabio just kills it on this album. I mean, what a way to make a statement with your first album with a new band. And they've just been cranking out great albums ever since. So really, really strong catalog. And to me, this had to be on this list. Secret Garden from Angra. Sorry, George. We're gonna go with it. Back to Simon.
You see, now I'm always thinking about George, which is in every way weird. Yeah, I sometimes you find albums and you find bands like quite some time after the fact, as it were. Stephen will know, everyone will know that I've suddenly become the world's biggest fan of Galnerius, and yes, just creeping in on December the 9th, 2015, is Under the Force of Courage. Yeah. I do actually have a physical copy of this. It's in China, so yes, right now. So there we go. But what an album, Mr. Smarthouse, yeah. So next time you send me a box, you know what to do. But anyhow, what I like about most power metal is that if there is a hill that requires climbing over or a mountain that requires climbing over, power metal bands just like to take that little look over the top and then charge right over. And if something's worth doing, it's worth doing to the nth degree of bombast. Yes, and Galnerius do that. Yeah, there's nothing that is not on this album. There's a Hammond organ on it. I mean, come on, that's not the most power metal instrument, but it's there and it's great. And the instrumental sections are just breathtakingly brilliant. They really, really are. The keyboards are just absolutely awesome, but the guitars are beyond good all the way throughout. Yeah, just one of those albums you think, oh, this is the best song. That one's actually slightly. That one's really great. And you put it on, and there's only 9 songs on it, and you think, oh, I'm going to put that on again. Come on, dogs, you're going for a longer walk because we haven't quite got home. Because I'm listening to some more Galnerius, and what a great album, and what a really consistently good band as well. I have found out over recent months. This one I would suggest is slightly more progressive than some of their other material, slightly more, and I think that's good. Yeah. So
it's got more of the widdly widdlies.
More of the widdly widdlies, and you can never really have enough of the widdly widdlies, can you? Really? Have you got the widdly widdlies? Okay, super excellent. But yeah, that's Under the Force of Courage by Galnerius. It's fantastic. I look forward to receiving my copy from the Far East very soon, or in a box from America.
It's an inspired pick. I like that one.
Just say thank you. So that's my second pick, and thoroughly recommended. It's available on streaming everywhere. Well, it is in the UK. That's my point. So yeah,
it's everywhere as we know. Put it that way.
Well, we are the UK connection, so just.
So yeah, okay, right. My number 2. I am going with Disciples of the Sun. This is by Pyramids. Okay, another one of these bands that you kind of think, it's not archetypal power metal, okay, but that's no bad thing. So, like I say, again, not one of the most renowned names of the genre. Danish outfit. This was their 4th album, and I think there had been something like a 7-year gap prior to this one. And the reason for that is because it's not really the same band that did the early albums, to be quite honest with you. They had already worked their way through kind of three, I suppose you would say, high profile singers. By this point, they'd had Lance King from Balance of Power and Empire and a solo career and a record label and a whole lot of different things. Mark Barlow of Iced Earth, he did the third album. And then you had Urban Breed from Sirius Black and Tad Morose and all that kind of stuff. And he just basically came in and went, hi, and then went off again. And he was just there for a matter of seconds.
That's what he does.
That is what he does. That is his MO, absolutely. And then they got a complete, or at least to me, unknown called Terj Haroy. I'm really sorry, Terj, because I probably ruined both your first and second name there, but there you go. It's one of these ones that's got a line through a thing and all that. Anyway, but that wasn't the only change, because the band's producer, Jakob Hansen, well, he then became their guitarist and their bassist. And you can, and basically the main songwriter too. So you think, oh, is it really Pyramies at all? Who knows at this point? Should have been a disaster. It's really not. I mean, you do still have, and I've written these down. I'm really sorry, but everyone can laugh. Okay, Toke Skjonemand, Jona Weingarten, and Morten Gade Sorensen. So that's a guitarist, a keyboard player, and a drummer that had all been there from the past. But as I say, the new guy, stroke producer, basically wrote the whole album. It should sound nothing like what had gone on before. Thanks, Simon. But it absolutely doesn't. But it doesn't matter because it's absolutely brilliant. This is an album that kind of, it's more on the power side outside the solos. And then during the solos, it becomes a kind of progressive album. It's exactly what Simon's mentioned earlier on, is that there's a distinct kind of move and shift as the songs evolve. Very moody band, very atmospheric band, but also a very energetic band. And I probably prefer this version, there's been another 3 albums from the band since this one, than what they did before. If you haven't heard them before, I would try out the track Exposure or When Black Turns to White from this album. That kind of gives you the more atmospheric side. But if you want them to go for the throat, then try the Battle of Paradise and Fearless. I really like these, very much underrated. They're beginning to get a bit more noticed with their most recent albums, but they've kind of gone under the radar for a long, long time. Pyramies, excellent stuff.
I would argue that their last 2 have been as good as anything they've ever done.
Yeah, I would agree with that. As I said, I prefer this incarnation of the band now than I did what they did earlier on.
It's a weird band because it's almost like you can't call it the same band from album to album to album because it's just completely different lineups and they all sound a little differently, but it's all really good.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the 3 guys that were there from way before that are still in the band at this point, and I think 2 of them are still in the band now. But with the fact that one of the new members, who was the producer, so you do have to wonder how much influence they had up to that point, then takes over almost all the songwriting on this album. He either writes nearly everything or co-writes the ones he doesn't. I think apart from maybe 1 or 2, and one of them's an instrumental or a introduction, should I say. It's not really the same band. It's one of those ones where you think, it's really good, so I don't really care.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, my next pick is an American band who have always had a singer who was not from here. And they did a big change. Their original, well, not their original singer, but their notable singer left. They got another pretty notable singer from a Swedish band. They have carried on, and this is one of those bands, again, it's a different style of power metal. Doesn't sound anything like the European brand, style. It's definitely more symphonic, more American sounding, and that's Camelot. Haven. Steven mentioned it before. I think this band is great. Every album they put out is really, really good. It's very classy. Do you have the double disc set? Yeah, you do. With, of course, piano versions and instrumental versions and acoustic versions and orchestral versions. And why record labels feel that we really need all this stuff. I just,
Do you know what I listened to this the other day because I knew it wasn't in my top 3. I still love it. It's absolutely brilliant. And I thought, I haven't listened to the second disc in a long time.
How far did you get?
I only got halfway through.
It's maybe worth one cursory listens if you can get through it. Other than that, it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. So this is their 11th studio album. Just classy stuff, right? Symphonic power metal. Last with Casey Grillo on drums, who of course everybody knows now is a member of Queensryche, and Steven showed one of their more recent albums. First album for Napalm Records, second album with Tommy Karavik on lead vocals, who comes over from Seventh Wonder. Of course, recently announced that he would no longer be performing in Seventh Wonder anymore. So he's basically just doing this. And I don't even know if Seventh Wonder have announced a new singer or if they're going to continue. I don't really know what's going on there. Great band, right? But again, this is more of their kind of sweeping orchestral power metal sound. It's got a touch of prog. A lot of really good songs on here. As always, they have some guest stars, right? You got Alyssa from Arch Enemy sings on Liar Liar, which is a great song. She does a little bit of growly stuff on there. Really, really cool song. Fallen Stars, terrific. You got Insomnia, which is total symphonic metal. Under Gray Skies is really good. You got Troy from Nightwish doing little tin whistle stuff on there, which is pretty cool. It's classy, it's melodic, it's potent, it's heavy, it's symphonic, it's proggy. There's hooks everywhere. The guitars are amazing, the drumming's great, the keyboards are amazing. I mean, this is one of those bands that just like pretty much every album is just of such high quality. I don't think they've ever released a bad album. There were some that maybe you like a little bit more than others, but this. I remember when this came out, I listened to this a ton. This is like one of like I think the first album with Tommy and the next one or two, all really spectacular. The last two with Roy, I think were great as well, Roy Khan. But they don't really have any bad albums. Maybe you could go with the pre-Roy Khan era as like, not being up to par with the rest of the stuff. Yeah, right. But they're not bad. But it's just there was something from when Roy Khan joined the band all throughout his run and the whole Tommy run as well. Maybe the last one isn't quite as good as the ones that came before, but this is a dynamite album. Good production, really good production. Great presentation as always. And yeah, that's my second choice.
Great choice. Well done, you. Okay, so I'm the only one that doesn't like Camelot here, and I can tell.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
I didn't actually know that either. You've never mentioned them, but I didn't know you weren't keen.
No, just never really done it for me. One of those, that list of bands that you think, I really should like them. I really, 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 really should. And I just can't connect with them.
Fair enough.
Just, no, I've tried.
We've all got them.
Yeah, we all have
them. We do. Do you know what else I don't like? That's right. Fantasy shit. I don't like fantasy. I don't like fantasy genre. I could live without ever hearing the words Tolkien again. Yes.
But you love Rhapsody of Fire.
Well, yes, I do, and it's almost like Rhapsody are about to make an appearance in any second now, just like they did on the last show. And this is particularly weird because it's as if on this is Luca Turilli's Rhapsody. Yes, not Rhapsody of Fire, not Rhapsody, not Luca Turilli Goes for Breakfast or whatever, or just Christ on a bike knows what. But you know what? The cinematic metal is their thing, isn't it? Look, how much does that look like? That's shiny, isn't it? Like a film, like film credits and stuff like that. And the thing about whichever version of Rhapsody you're going for, I'm going to assume that they have a sense of humor, because let's just have a look at some of the tracks, shall we? I feel like we should. Okie dokie. So, One Ring to Rule Them All. What could that possibly be about?
Gollum.
Fuck. Prometheus. King Solomon and the 72 Names of God. Just trips off the tongue. And my own personal favorite of Michael the Archangel and Lucifer's Fall, Part 2. Codex Nemesis. Yes. This is so far over the top that it's still going. But, just look at that cover. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. Look how the band actually seem to have made themselves either look like Savick from Star Trek or actual hobbits with guitars. Look at that. All the kids around here actually look like that these days, with stupid little bits shaved off around there. Look at that. It's just great. Look at Dominique Leverkin. Look. It's fantastic.
Oh, Lord.
That's brilliant. But the music is so great. It's just got such scale and such ambition. It really does. It obviously at times it sounds like film music. There's even a little bit of trance in there on occasions. Just like, whoa. You just felt this morning. You get up this morning, you'd be David Guetta or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, hey, I don't think we've got enough production on this. So what can we throw at this shit now? Opera vocals. David Redden, Ralph Sheepers. We can throw everything. We can throw everything at this. We can, and it's just an utter joy of happiness. Of we don't give a fuck. We're just going to do what we want to do and make one of the most over the top records that I own. I think when they started out Rhapsody, I think this is where he was going before they decided to reconvene with like the original Rhapsody and then play a Goodbye Rhapsody and then Bye Bye Rhapsody. And this time we're really going honest Rhapsody kind of thing. Yeah, just a great record. Luca Turilli's Rhapsody, Prometheus, Symphonia Ignis Divinius. Yes. Trips off the tongue, doesn't it? Yeah. I think it made something like number 16 in Italy. So, go for it. Yeah. So I love it. I love it so much.
Is he still doing his version of Rhapsody, or is that done?
I think he gave up on metal, didn't he?
I think so, right? I think it's just now the Rhapsody of Fire, and that's it.
No, you can't give up on metal. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Just no. Just not a thing.
I think Luca is more metal than power metal. He's more
just
metal.
He needs that T-shirt. He needs that T-shirt. That's what he needs. Give him the T-shirt. He'll be back.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Yes. Yes.
David, if you're watching, we need a new T-shirt. More metal than power metal. You heard it here first.
See, if we gift it to him, he'll open his present, look at it, and go, "What have I been doing all these years? I'm more metal than power metal."
Right. That is going to be the new slogan of this show going forward. We are the UK connection. We are more metal than power metal.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what Billy Joel had to do with anything, doesn't it, really?
Well, I've been wondering that a long time.
Reference to the last episode, people. Come on, keep up. Come on, let's go.
Okay, none of them watched it. It's all right.
Absolutely. Definitely. Different audience, completely. So now it was interesting, Simon, that you got kudos. You got kudos for one of your picks. I was told that was a good pick. Now, if your number 2 pick was a good pick, the fact that I've put Under the Force of Courage by Golnerius at number 1 means it must be a fantastic pick for me to go number 1. And I need to hold your phone up because I don't have a physical either. So you get the one from China. The one from the US.
Hold on.
Here we go. So if you get the one from China, okay, I promise to keep touch on the specs and keep people happy. And Pete can send me this one. Perfect. There we go. The world is right with everything now. So there you go. So yeah, so what can I say about it that Simon hasn't? Well, what I was going to say is, with the exception of Pyramids, it would appear that I like US power metal. But if there's one place that does it better, it's Japan. There are lots of bands from Japan that just do this kind of power metal and the bits round the side of it just so well. Now, Simon mentioned that this album has 9 songs. It kind of does, and it kind of doesn't. Because if there's one thing that a power metal album needs, it needs an introduction song. It needs one of those atmospheric scene-setting things that you get to the end of it and you go, what had that got to do with anything? This one's got 2 of those. It's got 2 of those songs. There's a kind of pre-introduction, introduction where somebody talks like this and all that kind of thing. And then you get the instrumental track. We're already nearly 7 minutes into this album. That's the kind of scope that we're coping with here. The other 7, the real songs, none of them are less than 6 minutes long. And it doesn't matter because they're all absolutely brilliant. It's such a great album. There's so much energy, but the interplay between the musicians here is fantastic. They've been through a few kind of lineup changes over the years, but the guitarist, and I'm really sorry, I'm just going to mispronounce everyone's name today, Sue, and the keyboard player, Yuki, I can do that one. They've been there roughly from the start. They've been there from the debut album, okay? And you can just tell, because they are so tight. They are absolutely on everything. But I love the singer, Sho, or Masatoshi Ono, okay? He is superb. Now, his English is interesting, but it doesn't matter because he sings mainly in Japanese, so who cares? And I really am a Neil McCullister a master on this. I'm okay with singers singing in their native tongue, because it allows them to really mean it, I don't really care if I understand the words or not, if the passion and the delivery is there, and it really is with him. And you get the odd English phrase. They've got a tendency to kind of get to the end of the chorus and then shout something in English. And you can don't do that. But that's the only downside here. How do you end an album that has just got epic track after epic track after epic track? Yeah, that's 6 minutes, it's 7 minutes, it's 8 minutes, it's 7 minutes. You go for a 14-minute song, and it outdoes everything here. And it's one of those ones, it's not the title track, but it's kind of the title track because it's just called The Force of Courage. They just decided to put under to the side here. We don't need the under part, okay? This is just The Force of Courage. It's bloody brilliant, so it is. Such a good album, such a good band. As Simon mentioned, the consistency there is fantastic. And I'm a reasonably recent convert to this band as well. Last few years, I've started to realise that really Japan's kind of where it is for this stuff right now. In my taste and in my humble opinion, some of the stuff coming out there is phenomenal. And this is one of the best bands that there is. Galnerius, phenomenal stuff.
George Louis is a big fan.
He is indeed. Absolutely, he is.
George is the one who hooked me up with that CD I was showing you guys.
Mm.
George
Oh.
and
So George is sending you these CDs. Word shall be had.
someone's going to be sending George a message later. So, hook a brother up, man. Come on. Amazingly enough, that was the only album that we duplicated on in this entire episode here, which is kind of interesting. All right, let me I do not have I have the physical copy. I just can't find it of my last choice here. I know, right? It's here somewhere. And I see I'm getting darker and darker as we go on here. So let me fire up the Prezi app. Let's do a little song and dance, guys, while I do this. And all right.
Should I reverse myself? I'll reverse myself. There we go. Look, I've got Prezi on too now. There we go. Perfect.
There you go.
Oh, it's Dennis Taylor.
You know, actually, I could probably go through the whole episode without having to do this with him. You know? That's where we've been going wrong all this time. Sorry, I won't do that now.
All right, where are we? Here we go. All right, sorry for the delay, everybody. By the power of Prezi. Oh, sorry, it should be right there. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Edit this bit.
Prezi sucks. Oh my God, what is taking so long? It was like it was there, and now it's not there. Hold on, let's try it one more time. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
But you're not reversed. I need you to reverse.
Yeah, it's there. We go. 10 hours later. All right. So, of course, Blind Guardian, Beyond the Red Mirror, their 10th studio album. So over the top. I mean, you got to love Blind Guardian because they're almost like a genre unto themselves. They don't sound like anybody else. No one can sound like them. It's just, they've got so many concept albums. This is like a big fantasy and sci-fi combo concept album. You got 2 orchestras playing with the band on this album. You got 3 choirs, and it sounds like it. It's immense. It's epic. Hansi Kirsch, who's the lead singer of the band, driving force of the band. I mean, he's amazing on this whole thing. You got some great songs here. You got The Ninth Wave, terrific track. Twilight of the Gods is just fast pedal to the metal, power metal. At the Edge of Time is totally symphonic. They really do the symphonic thing really, really well. When you got 3 choirs and 2 orchestras, of course, you're going to have that. You got the Holy Grail, which is just classic, like old school power metal and old school Blind Guardian, just, really, really fast, speedy stuff. The arrangements are really, really well done. And the backing vocals, I think, are incredible on this album because let me just get rid of the Prezi app. I think everybody's seen this already. They almost have like a Queen quality to it with all the choirs and the multi-track vocals of Hansi and whatever. It sounds like heavy metal Queen, like power metal Queen in spots. Just so majestic, really, really cool. They've got a lot of really, really good albums. This is one of my favorites of the last handful that they've done. This is 10 years ago already. They have a few, but really, really good. And it's part of like a run that they were on that I think we're just releasing one spectacular album after another. So yeah, Blind Guardian is my final choice for today. Beyond the Red Mirror. So Oh, hold on, because I can't see. I can't stand seeing myself in dark. There we go. All right, the magic of a little lamp in front of me. So for everybody watching down in the comments,
So I'm just amazed that you brought us the power of light there, Pete. I love the fact you actually described. I have a lamp. I didn't think you could turn the sun on. So I mean, we love you. You're great, but
yeah,
come on.
I got a lamp there. I got a lamp there. I got a light up there. So there, and I got the window there. So yeah, by the power of my little desk lamp, it's like woohoo. Yeah, it's just when you get to a certain time of the day, it's just all of a sudden it's like it's hard to light the room up. But yeah, so everybody go back and check 2015 and pick your three favorite power metal albums from that year down below in the comments. And Steven, you want to give everybody a little hint of what's to come in 2 weeks?
I do. Yes, we are going to do something that people are going to go. Haven't people already done that? Okay, bear with us here. So, in 2 weeks' time, we are going to do our favourite, least favourite, and wild card albums by a certain band called Van Halen. Okay, now I know that there may have been a certain other show on the channel who have already attempted this task in a different kind of guise.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very different show. Let me assure you of that. Whether anybody is still speaking to most of us, by most I mean the majority of this room, at the end of that show, I'm not concerned, really absolutely certain that they will, to be honest with you, because there might be some disagreement here, I think. It's going to be a bit of a bun fight. So yes, in 2 weeks' time, it's the favourite, least favourite, and wild card of Van Halen. Sorry.
So remember, everybody, two favorites, two the least favorites, and then the wild card, which
Yep.
can be something in between, live record, compilation, related band or album. We leave the wild card open to, you know, interpretation, so to
There's
speak.
one rule for the wildcard album, and that is you can make any shit up you want as long as it vaguely, loosely connects to it.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Yes, Uncle Simon.
And there have to be two favourites.
Yes.
Have to be. We've had enough of your cheating.
And I've got 2 weeks for this.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think you've been preparing for this all your life.
I've certainly been complaining about it for quite a while, so.
That might have been. And the crazy thing is, you suggested it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've almost choked on my beer like 4 times in this episode, as you can see.
Oh dear.
No words need to be said. It's probably like the best inside joke. Not even gonna mention it. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck are they laughing at?" Right? Okay, figure it out, everybody. Or just go ask George. He'll tell you.
Yeah. They can't ask him now. He's drunk. He's in a corner.
Oh, dear me. All right, so yes. So yeah, favorite, least favorite Van Halen and wild card. So again, a little bit different than the Hudson Valley Squares episode we did, which we were mainly looking at the original David Lee Roth era and just kind of talking about how great that was, or in Simon's case, not so great, and picking our three favorites. So, but now we've opened it up. We've got all the Roth albums. We've got all the Sammy Hagar albums. We've got that Gary Sharon album, and we've got the last album with Roth back in the band doing old stuff from before the first band. And yeah, it gets all kind of complicated, but we've got a few live albums in there. Shit, you can pick whatever you want. You can pick a bootleg live album, whatever you want to do. That's how we roll here. So it's related. It's related. So power metal favorites from 2015 down below. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks on the UK Connection. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Will I have a stout next time? I may just go try and get one of those beers that Steven had. I think I'm going to be on the hunt for that. So maybe I'll surprise you. And Simon, I still have some of those English beers in my fridge that I have not finished yet. So what happens when you get sick before the holidays and you have all this intent of drinking all this beer in the fridge, and it's like, all the stuff that you built up for starting in late October, and now I open up that fridge and I'm like, you're all still here. which I guess is okay for me going forward, right? Because unless I got to buy for right now, it's well stocked. So on that note, say goodbye to this one.
Goodbye, this
Say
one.
goodbye to us here for Simon Bray and Steven Reid. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching us, spending some time with us here today. It's always a blast, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks for Van Halen. Until then, have a good weekend, everybody. Bye bye.